Do 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 do. Boop. Do 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 do. Flip. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hello, friends. How are you today? I hope you guys are doing well. Let me move this webcam out of the way because it's annoying me. How are you guys? My name is Rodrigo Gonzalez, or as you guys might know me as RODGON. I like to teach, and I'm doing my laundry, so I have a little bit of time to teach you guys how to do something cool. So yeah, what's up? Doobie boop 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 boop. So, we've learned a lot of cool things recently. Lots of cool things. Like, let me close the door so. So, hiya! RODGON rules! Finally, I'm early to your live. Well, I normally don't go live on YouTube. But, you know what? I need to spread my love. I need to show my love to all my fandoms, not just TikTok. So how are you guys today? What should we learn today? What should we learn? Should we learn to draw some faces? Should we learn how they turn? Should we learn to draw the noses or the mouth shapes or our chin? Maybe draw our eyeballs in the right place for once this year. Finding the side of the face, finding the side of the jaw, finding where your eyeballs go when looking at the sky. I saw you on TikTok and now on YouTube. Thanks, sorry I did not go outside and draw trees. What does your sketchbook look like? My sketchbook is a square. I love squared sketchbooks. And this is what my sketchbook looks like. Oh, this one was fun. That was a super fun day. Do-do-do. So let's see. What should we do? What should we learn? What should we draw? What should we teach? What do you guys want to be better at by the end of this video? I love taking suggestions, especially when I do it on a smaller audience like the one we have here. We don't have thousands of people. We have only like 10, 20 people. So you guys get a small, little, tiny, like private lesson pretty much. So you guys get to choose what you guys want to learn. So don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Ask away. Your advantage right now is that you have a professional that's willing to give knowledge for free. Illo sketchbooks. So let's draw cars. Cool. All right, so cars are normally hard because people have a very bad understanding of perspective. So if you don't understand perspective, it's going to be really hard to draw things that are boxes, things that are circles, things that are, in general, just being shaped in space, other than just a human body. So when you're drawing a car, it's not necessarily hard to draw the boxes, it's just that we are so unfamiliar with where things go, because we're not used to drawing these objects. So as you get better at visualizing the world around you, you will realize that things like cars and buildings and stuff like that are no harder to draw than, actually a human body is much, harder to draw than any car or vehicle will ever be. So once you start understanding those basic concepts and you start just getting a hang of how things would work in space, and you start looking and seeing through your objects, you'll be able to draw things like cars and trucks and all that stuff that you really want to learn really, really easy. Because this is no harder than drawing, let's say, a human face that has all these different like sections to it. You know, your the human face has more curvatures and changes of directions and stuff like that than a car will ever have. So if you can draw this, you can easily draw this. Hello, I just got here, Rod. What have you drawn so far? And are you excited for the Charisma season? Christmas is not the same since my mom died. Like, my mom died a couple years ago, and then, like, Christmas is, I don't know, that was her thing, you know? Like, and so far I've been trying to, like, find, like, the joy in doing it with other people, you know? But it's just, like, you know, it's just not the same. As you get older, that shit just stops mattering so much. Stanley Phillips, thanks, man. You're awesome. I have some of my art students watching you when they want to learn more, but I don't have time to teach them. So keep it up. Oh my God. That is so cool. Ah, that is so cool. Tune, 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 tune. Let's see. I like his scar sketch. Do more. Let's see. Draw a dynamic hero pose. Well, let me tell you guys the rules of today. Okay, we're gonna be sketching for about like 30-40 minutes or so, because I gotta do my laundry. Right. So we're gonna be sketching for a little bit. If you guys ask nicely, as in you guys go, hey Rod, could you please draw this and give me a reason why? As in, like, I have hard time doing this, hard time doing that, any of that stuff. If you guys ask in that way, I will answer your questions. If you guys just go, draw this, draw that, I will straight up ignore you and I will not pay attention to the things you're saying. Because I don't feel like being a drawing monkey. I'm not here to just make and like do things for you guys. I'm here to teach you. And that is the dynamic that I want here. Jay Disney, hi, big ask, but what specifically do you like to look for in a face to draw a caricature? Well, when you're looking at a caricature, at a human face, and you want to exaggerate something from it, the biggest factors are going to be the eyes, the eyebrows, and the nose. Why those features? Well, the eyes are going to be essentially your window, right? So if you have like different types of eyes, you're going to be able to create different types of characters. So different eyes give you a different personality, can give you ethnicities, can give you everything, like a lot of personality to your drawing. The next thing that you have to focus on is how they draw their eyebrows. Do they normally do them big? Do they stylize them? Do they just leave them be bushy? That is a very big component of a person's personality. Understanding how that correlates to your eyes is going to be very important too, because just having a slight angle to your eye can change the character's look completely. So being consistent with knowing what that and how that works is very important. Now, the next thing is to understand that every component that you draw is modifiable as long as it connects back to the same points. What do I mean by that? So if you draw by like your face like I do, if you draw your faces like triangles like I have been teaching you guys, you end up with a human skeleton really, really quickly. All these little circles can be modified to be smaller, bigger, to fit whatever character styling you need. You don't have to. You can modify these to be anything you want, and it's going to look fine because you're connecting it back to the same places. Let me example number 2. Side by side. I wanted smaller eyes, but a bigger mouth. You can change the proportions of every single one of these body parts to fit whatever you need, even down to like drawing the eyes tiny if you really want to. I didn't know you were stream on YouTube. I normally don't. How do you exaggerate something that is small on a face? Well, let's make something small on a face and let's exaggerate it. So it's going to be a little tiny nose, right? But we need to make it significant so that you can make it look bulbous and then add like a bunch of color to it. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it would be to like give like really big nostrils to it, even though it's small. It's going to call attention to itself because of its different shape. Or you can make it so tiny that in itself it becomes a feature. So tiny compared to everything else that in itself just becomes like this little tiny dot. And that again would become a feature. I did the 16 trees you said. Woohoo! Hi, I struggle with landscapes under snow. I don't know how to put the dark blue here to my white hills to make them look deep and realistic. Well, I don't really have any colors here, so otherwise I could probably show you. But let me see if I can find some blue. There you go. I have a blue. So, if you're drawing things like, I don't know, let's draw like a little bit of like snow and shit like that and like a landscape. Let's draw some sidewalk. We'll draw, I don't know, like a bush. And we'll draw some snow. Okay. And then we'll draw some snow over here, snow on the driveway, snow on the grass. Right, we'll draw like a snowman over here. So now that we have our features and we want to make the snow look like it's snow instead of just white blobs, instead of shadowing it with color or with black, just give it shadows with a blue. Add some contrast with the background so that it actually looks like the color that you want. And you're gonna get more realistic snow. Now this is really cartoony, right? But when you start applying this to actually less line worky stuff, you end up with subtle snow and like mountain peaks and stuff like that. It's the 8x8. Thanks for the stream. I found your video VODs really helpful. Yay! That is my goal. My goal is to make you guys happy. Hold on. Let me put my... I'm going to put my dryer on. I'll be right back. Alright, there you go. You guys have me for 40 minutes. Then I get to go away. Oh, someone retracted a message. Oh, who's retracting messages? What did you say? Was it something mean? Was it something nice? No, I misspelled something. It happens. So you guys doing anything cool today? What does the average person do nowadays when they go out? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas all throughout the year. Sorry, Mustache. I didn't mean to try to like rile you up thinking we're gonna go for a walk. So, questions. Anyone have some questions? It helps a lot when you guys ask questions. Mostly because then I don't have to worry. Sorry for the question, but is there a link to the ballpoint pen grip that you are now you're not what? No, I don't have it. You mean my weird pen grip that I made from like tape? No, there's no Amazon link to my grip tape. It just grab a bunch of tape and start wrapping it around your pen. Literally just do that. Just like, just start wrapping it until it starts getting fat in the middle. And when you get it like this, then your fingers are gonna be nice and wide on it. So they're not gonna be hurting as much if you have issues with pain whenever you draw. Oh, the red one, I stopped using that one because it started digging into my fingers. It started actually causing pain. So that triangle one, right, that I had before, it would dig into my fingertips and cause massive pain afterwards. So I stopped using it really quickly, mostly because I was cutting circulation to my fingers. And since I draw for like a ton of time at a time, my hands afterwards were like killing me. They'd be like my fingers would just feel like they were like done. That's how my hand felt after. Do you use a paintbrush to paint? I guess some people paint with paintbrushes. I mean, I don't really use a paintbrush. I don't really paint. How do you set up doing a pose for a high angle? Well, you can do it like this. From a high angle, so that means that the camera's up here, right? Like super high. So that means that our body's collarbone might be like right there, but that means that my legs have to be down there. Something like that. How would I use a reference to study anatomy? Well, something you can do that I used to like to do a lot is take pictures of really buff people, like really like bodybuilder type of people, right? And then I would trace them. I would try to like draw with a Sharpie and then just be like, ooh, where are those lines connecting? Ooh, where's there an overlap? Ooh, what happens with these muscles? Like, what happens? How do they intersect and stuff? So, if you start tracing over your shapes, over your lines of the magazine and stuff, you start seeing how things work. You have to just be like not afraid to just draw over shit. Like, yeah, you're gonna ruin some magazines, but who cares? You're gaining knowledge. Brazil, here, your ebooks or paper to buy. I have both. Thank you for responding on the Fritz. Let's see. So, the posing that you do with your characters, you can do anything you want with it, right? your ability to draw different characters is going to be dependent on your knowledge of anatomy and perspective. Drawing things like specific characters like Spider-Man or whatever is not really hard. Most of the time, because it's super stylized and you get to choose any way you want to draw it. But the actual hard part comes from actually trying to draw the muscle structures properly. And when you can't simplify that in a way that makes sense for you, you end up struggling and thinking that these things are really all that hard. And in all reality, they're a lot easier than people think. You just need to, again, understand it down to your core components, which are your anatomy, your perspective, and your imagination. Cheech Wizard, nah. Whose work you like? I like a bunch of people. I like Chris Sanders. Chris Sanders has a beautiful style of rendering for his girls. And I've broken down a lot of the components of it, so I can replicate it to a certain extent. But he has just this super beautiful way of rendering that is just unique to him. So as much as I would love to be able to copy everything that he can do, he has such a nice, unique style that it's really hard to be able to replicate it completely. But he always has super perky boobies. He has really weird ways of drawing the hands and stuff. They are always super curvy. And he always goes with super detailed fingers and stuff. Yeah, his boobs are popping out from the bottom and stuff like that. Plus, his characters are super expressive. So I absolutely love drawing. Let's see if we can draw a slightly better representation of his style. And he always draws them with super cute little animal companions and stuff. So let's draw a little animal companion. Another person that I really, really like is Scott Campbell. Scott Campbell has a completely different approach to his pinups, and they're very elegant and very long and very seductive and stuff, right? So he has a very different approach to them. So understanding how different people approach different things is really cool. And being able to take that and make things superheroes and pinups and stuff like that is very cool too. I don't know who Simon Beasley is. The window splasher. What's she drawing? She? Who's she? Is she supposed to be drawing something? Do you think she should be drawing like something on a canvas? It's flying through the clouds, drawing things. Well, I'm a he and I'm a rod. I identify as a teacher with heavy mustaches, heavy bags under my eyes, and the inexplicable ability to be able to teach art in a good way, in a fun way, that does not come with my lack of sleep or insomnia. Have you guys ever seen that Udemy like ad where they have this? They have like a mustache and they have the mustache sticking out like that. Oh my god. Go look at the comment section for that. It's so beautiful. It's like an art school that's trying to teach you how to draw, but they don't even know how to like draw facial hair properly. What reference would you suggest for training the sushis? You don't need a reference for the sushis. You don't need a reference for. That's the beauty of it. The sushi helps you just figure out a pose really quickly, right? It's not meant to give you, like, you don't need reference for this. These are just two little lines coming from the sides of your shape. This is meant to help you understand how your hip bones connect to a body or a mass, so that later on you can use that to be able to mold your characters and move them and shape them in any way you want, right? Understanding how that works is very important. Hi, Rodgon. Can you please draw something that shows impact, such as receiving a punch? Okay, cool. So, if you want to have something like a face receiving a punch, wow, let's knock this guy out. Wow. Okay. We need something coming at him with speed. If you're going to draw a punch, you could use a little reference about actual like positions of hands and stuff like that, how your hand actually moves when you're about to punch someone. And you can do a little bit of reference of that, but it's more so going to be how you draw the impact, right? You can have it dig into them and then do like impact lines, or you could do like anything like that will help you like determine that somebody's getting punched. Speed lines will also help to create a deeper set impact. And when something hits something so hard that it cracks, you would add little texture lines like something's cracking. So impact, crack. The sushi is kind of like a crab claw. But it's such a cool crab claw. Alien abduction, no! I've learned more and more from you than any other artist I've seen so far. Thank you. You are welcome. That's my goal. How to draw anime style body. Sir, I want to practice learn. Don't aim to learn to draw anime bodies. Anime bodies are just bodies. They're not any different than a normal body. If you want like a normal human body, draw these shapes. Draw a cylinder for your hip bones that's angled and a little ball for your rib cage. Find your collarbone and your head by just making a cylinder and drawing two little triangles on the side of that. That is how you come up with a body. Okay? Whatever style you choose to put on this is up to you. It could be anime, realism, cartoony, whatever. If you meant chibi bodies, they're the same shit, just squished. They still have all those mapping points, and then your head is just much bigger. And now you have a little chibi body. Ooh, congratulations. If that's what you meant, that's how you get it. I can draw a head, a mask, and the eyes pretty good, but when I try to put them all together, it looks terrible. Practice, man. Practice and analyze it. Like, if you draw one and you're taking into consideration every step, you're considering how everything goes, right? If you can get to that point, cool. You said you can do the eyes, right? So, drawing the eyes inside of there shouldn't be too hard. If you see that something's wrong, take a note of it, eye is off, and then correct it immediately. Tell yourself something is wrong. You're clearly not happy with how they're coming out. So you know that there's something in there that is off. Try to analyze it and get to the bottom of it so that you know what to correct. That is the goal. That is the purpose of self-teaching, like the way that I teach. Right? Taking notes is such a crucial part in understanding your drawings and learning how to teach yourself. Because I can't always answer all the questions for you. Right? So if you see, for example, that like something's off, like your mouth is too much to the side or something, well, guess what? You didn't put it in the middle. So that is the reason why it looks like that. If your eye, one of them is too big and the other one is small, just make them the same size. The eyes go at the top of the triangle, if you're wondering where that spacing goes. So you draw your face, middle, triangle. At the top of that, that's where your eyes go. Your nose, cartilage and stuff like that can come out from there too. And then that teardrop gives you the spacing for your mouth. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. It has helped me study how do you draw a woman body types. Let's draw some women body types. Okay, the cylinder into a female head, huh? So, cylinder. Ear, triangle, circle, circle, circle. Little nose, big lips, little chin, jawline, eyes, eyebrows, So what is the part that you're having issues with? It might be more so like you having to give too much spacing to stuff. Maybe the jaw's too big or something, but the actual cylinder provides you a super simple way to be able to draw anything. It's not just women, it's not just men, it's everything. Oh. Well, I don't know if anybody else has taught that. I mean, I just figured it out on my own. So the way that I teach is the way that I learned, right? And it's just a very intuitive way to just draw a nice little human skeleton out of any shape. I don't know why no one else has taught that. It seems like a very easy concept to come up with, especially if you actually study a little bit of anatomy. But as far as I know, it's me. I'm the one that came up with it. Because I have not seen anybody else tell me otherwise. And I've done my own little research, and it doesn't seem like anybody really focuses on that aspect of learning that part. Pew, 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 pew. We have a little bit more space. You're from Brazil. Hello, Brazil. How are you? Somebody was asking for like different women's sizes. Right? All you really need to do to make a bigger person in general is just to make the mass of their body bigger. So if you start with something small, like this, smaller, or even smaller than that, you can go as thin as you want, right? Whenever you start, just keep adding volume to it, and you can make someone even bigger. So the amount of volume that you can add is completely up to you. The front view getting that rounded shape. What rounded shape? So let's see here. This? That's a cylinder, dude. God, why do you keep disconnecting? Yeah, it's just a cylinder. Okay, so the length of the arm is actually quite simple to understand. You have your rib cage, you have your collarbone, and you have your head. Okay? the first part of your arm is going to match roughly with the bottom part of your rib cage. The next part of your body, this and the next section, is going to be down to your knuckles. Not to your fingers. No. It's going to be down to your knuckles. Why the knuckles? Because the knuckles, your fingers bend and they can hide. Same thing with your thumb. So I don't like measuring to something that can change that much. So I measure all the way to my knuckles. This side is your shoulder, your pectorals, and your bicep, and your tricep. This other part is your hand, your actual hand, your palm, and your forearm. They overlap a little bit. When you bend it, you have to keep that into consideration. Your knuckles are gonna go all the way up here because that's what we determined. And then your fingers are gonna be on top of that. So as you bend this around and move it to different places, that is what you should keep in mind. All right, I'm out. Outsies. I am done. See you guys later. Take care. Bye.